Good morning, girls. I see you standing on top of your food. You're going to be all set. I'm going to come back for you in a few minutes. Gave you some fresh water. And I did raise the lamp up. This metal pot was right on the bottom of the screen, so it has been raised up to there. You see the dust flying and the little gander, I suppose, and dust from the sawdust. There they are. So they're going to be going out pretty soon. Not going to be as warm today. Maybe about 70 later in the afternoon, so I'll put them out later. But right now they're safe in here. I'll put a few more bricks. I could put some bricks here. Make sure that it doesn't fall over. There we go. Keep them safe. So they're all set. Okay, girls, I'll see you in a little bit, okay? I know you like being outside, and soon you'll be in your little house. I want to take a walk out here because I was looking at... Let me shut this light off. You don't need that light, I don't think. Okay. All right, I'll be back, girls. I'll open up the window for you. Yeah, it's a little bit cooler today. I have my shirt on here. I wanted to go down here, take a little peek at something. I'll be there in a minute, girls. Okay, washing out Randy's blankets. Randy's a hound dog, so hounds have a funny, not a funny smell. I mean, they're hounds. They have a smell to them. You probably don't get that with poodles. We didn't get it with a Chihuahua. I noticed it on our other hound we had, the Black Lab. It's kind of a hound dog. They did have a stronger scent. So I'm just going to rinse out the blankets out there before I put them in the machine. But I want to take a look at this. Oh, yeah. So I think this is what these are. I'm trying to research it. These are going over the hill now. These came up all by themselves. But I would say the ones that look like this, because this is passing away, I believe that's a daffodil. And then no. I'm sorry. This I believe this is a jonquil. And this is the daffodil. So, again, this would be a jonquil. A little bit different there. And this is the daffodil. It's got a longer shoot, on the side. Yeah, so you can see the daffodil here has a longer snout, I'll say. And this one doesn't have that. So, and these are just coming up all by themselves. So I have more this year. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess about 6. Yeah, so might be some more. There's some just greens back there. I'll try to put some fertilizer on that. I noticed when I put my goat bedding on things, the fertilizer from the goats, that oftentimes flowers will blossom. It's been stagnant for a while. So let's go up here a second. Nobody's out yet. They're all waiting for me, but I'll be there soon. Zach's cutting down some trees in here. And he's got to go back and get the stumps down, but he's cutting some smaller trees in this area. You can see the stumps. And he'll cut those down. This tree right there, he wants to cut. Oops, that tree right there. So this is good. It opens up more light, things of that sort. Grass is trying to come through a little bit. Some greenery is coming in here, which is nice. I see Mr. Squirrel down there. Hi, Mr. Squirrel. Okay, so let's go over here a second. Because this flower was kind of dormant for a long time. So I put the goat bedding up here. And this daffodil came up. And it bloomed this time. So it'd be nice if it would have more blooms. But after I put this bedding on the bottom, it's been there for about maybe 6 months. Or actually, yeah, about 6 months, I guess. And I put some last year, so probably about a year. And that little flower came out of what was actually dormant, just these things here. And then we have, this is coming up. I don't know what this is called. It's a huge plant, whatever that's called, I don't know. I'm going to have a lot more, I think, rhododendrons on this bush. I see a lot of bulbs coming out. Well, they're already out. They were out last fall. A little bit of maybe frost damage or something to them. I'll try to get some of the dead leaves off. And this is, let's see now, over here, these are some more daffodils. Now they weren't here before. They were just growing up like greens, but they weren't sprouting any flowers. So that has flowered since I put the goat bedding down. And a little tiny bush back there. That's just a tiny little azalea bush. I have another azalea bush. Oh, these long things here, these are going to be lilies, all these green things, and they're down by the gas tank too. So I just wanted to show you that. Kind of, I got a new flag up there. My other flag got blown away, actually. It split the wood and got blown over. Morning, birdie. Got some birds that are making nests underneath the garage eaves. We have some babies in there. And let's see what else. Whoops. Sometimes the wind's so strong. I've had some damage to my pinwheels, but oops, find a better place. But anyways, try to take some of them out when they're getting ripped up, but save quite a few of them. But the wind's been strong lately. I think we had a lot of strong winter wind, and we had some strong winds. So these are going to be coming out. These are red azaleas. I got to get in there and clean out those leaves that's in there. That's probably going to be a lily, a white lily over there. And let's see, I guess that's about it. Just want to come out quickly just to see some things. All right, I guess that's okay for now. Everybody wants me to, they're saying, get over there quick, quick. Come and help us. Get us out. So we'll see how the babies are going to do. It's a little bit cool this morning, so I'm going to get all my work done and I'll take them out a little bit later on and put them there. Good morning, girls. Oh, something different. I put my little greenhouse here. And I have some, I think I told you this. Yeah, I think I did. I have some pots in there. Some are, I think I'm in the other video, mentioned the different kind of soil that I use. One was like really like a soil you'd buy in a store, but I had it on my property where the goats are. The other one was not as old because where the hens are. So one had more sawdust in it, as I mentioned. So I'm just kind of seeing what would come out. So yeah, kind of checking that, see how that's going to work out. So I put that there. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with that. I moved it over here. I had it behind the house before, about three years maybe. And some critter digs underneath it and eats away my little, what would you call them? Little plants. So you're just growing from seed. They're getting a little bit bigger and it's coming in there eating stuff. So I moved it in here. Might be a little bit more difficult for that little creature, whatever he is, to get in here. And I'm just kind of thinking, I'm not too sure. So far I've got some jalapeno peppers, I think it was, some tomatoes, and something else I put. I can't remember what it was. Oh, cucumbers, yeah. So for now, and but I might just go and just throw a lot of lettuce in there. I just might throw a whole bunch of lettuce seeds in that thing and just let it grow in that area and see what happens. You know, I might do that. I have so many other things I'm involved with right now. I don't really have a lot of time that I used to have to really enjoy and try different things and take time to, you know, do things the right way. So anyways, I stuck this here, put the logs there because when I first put it down, I had to leave it with Zachariah. It was very windy and the wind caught it and just flipped it over this little house and head out down there by the flag. So it was fine. It didn't get broke or anything like that. It was fine. So I'm trying to put some logs behind it, just kind of make it a little bit more sturdy so it won't be so flimsy. I have to be careful when I open the centered window, like a little door in here in the center, so it doesn't get too hot in there. Water those little plants, see how they're going to do. But I try not to get that center flap up all the way because the wind can get in there. So I just like it halfway, so whatever heat's in there can come out. Good morning, girls. This is what they're like every morning before I come out here. When they hear my voice, they start saying all kinds of wonderful things. And then after they're out, they don't say anything. Kind of cool. Little creatures. They're cute. Okay, so I'm going to go in. Just wanted you to see a couple flowers that are growing. Oh, yeah. Did I show you? I showed you down here. I showed you my strawberries in the other video, I think. Strawberries are looking better. I was able to get some of the leaves away from them. So these are the strawberries down here. Gonna let them just spread out, and this little flower down here, it's starting to go wilt now. There's other things. Something's going to be there, and something's going to be over here, and something's going to be down there too. So, and these things are starting to bloom out. During the winter, I have to. What I'm gonna have to do up here, I'm gonna have to put another ring of electric fence. There's 3 wires of electric fence here. And the snow over here, it never touched the bottom, or maybe if it did touch the bottom, I cleared it off, but I have the wires going here. So I'm going to put probably another one up here. Because what happened when the snow was on the ground, Applejack walked over this I'm not sure if he deliberately walked over, if he just found himself over it or something. I don't know. He could have just deliberately walked over it because the snow was getting a little bit higher, just getting compact on both sides where they're standing there. And I think he just walked over it slow. So I'm going to put another ring on the top. Well, why I mentioned that story is he walked over there and he walked down this aisle. He went to my pear tree and he ate the bark off the pear tree. So that was down in the winter. So I didn't know what to put on it. If anybody has any ideas, leave a comment what to put on the injured bark. But it may just, over time, maybe just heal itself. As you can see the damage he did. This was done in the winter when the plant was still dormant. So I wasn't too sure if anything was going to come out. He ate off, like here, he's biting off the ends of the, I don't know if you can see it. Yep, it's biting off the ends here of the branches. But I can see that, you know, some leaves are coming out. These are going to be pears over here, little pears coming out here. I have more pears up here. So it is having leaves. It's producing something. I'll have to just see how much it's going to produce. Got some little pears down here. So I'm kind of hoping that it's just going to maybe in time, I don't know what's going to happen to that. I have no idea. Whatever. I don't want to put anything that's like commercial. I like to just try to figure out something that might be organic I can put on there. That it wouldn't hurt the plant and it wouldn't affect the fruit on it, you know. So that's what he did, little bugger. So I'll know next year if it's, you know, just put extra wire. I'll do that this summer sometime, put an extra wire up. These are all going to be nice little pears over here. So we'll see. You know, it might continue to blossom and have more and more leaves come out and more fruit. The apple tree over there is starting to blossom too. I don't know if I can get it a little bit closer. That's starting to blossom with little leaves on that, so that's kind of cool. So that's a little bit of an update there. Let's see, that's about it, I think. Grass is growing a little taller. Things are green, getting more green, which is great. Okay, so I guess that's about it. Just wanted to show you some damage Applejack did. My little greenhouse over there. I think I'm just going to just throw lettuce seeds there and see what happens to it. That's what I'm thinking about. Because we can get a frost. You can still get a frost in May. About 2 years ago we got a frost and it really damaged the trees. It lost all the fruit on the trees and the grapes. But hopefully we don't get that. But I was figuring if I put it in there, maybe at night, right now it's not dropping low. It's staying about in the, high 30s or 40s at night. The other night it was like 60, believe it or not. So I think I'm going to be okay. I'll monitor that, make sure they don't get dried out, you know, in the little screen house there. Maybe just fill the whole thing with lettuce. That'd be cool. And then put my other tomatoes and cucumbers and peppers and other different spots. I'm thinking about maybe later on. I don't know if I could do it this year with all the other medical things I'm working with Carrie. But I might be thinking back there, just take a section off back there, maybe plant some corn, potatoes, things like that. But only so much you can do in a few hours each day. But things get done a little bit slower. Zach's taking some trees over there too. You can see the high stumps there. And that tree there, that was actually attached to the fence. So I cut the wire, he knocked it over that way, and I put a new post where the fence is so the goats won't go through there. But that was an old tree that we had attached the fence to, and that old tree died. So anyways, we're getting a little improvements here and there. Love to see the dandelions out. It's kind of cool. Things are getting more green. Grass is getting a little bit taller. Flowers are starting to pop out. Oh, look at these pretty irises over here. Irises, yeah. No, violets. Iris. What did I say? Iris. They're violets. Let me get my shadow out of here. These little violets here. As far as I understand, violets are edible. Little tiny violets. You can eat their leaves and you can eat the little flowers. Cool. So they don't last too long though. You can see somewhere, well, probably some got stepped on, but the hose might have been rubbing across them. But they're growing there. And I got some other violets up by the flowers. I got also some pink ones. White and purple, I guess. All right, peoples. So I'm going to be saying bye for now. I'm going to get my animals out and spend a couple hours out here. Luna's still not home yet, still on his adventure. But hopefully he'll be coming pretty soon. Oh, look at the lilac bush. I'll show you some of this too. Let me see if I can see the lilac bush. Yeah, see that? I have some lilacs there, and there's lilacs here, and up there, yeah, and there. Oh, geez. Okay, I don't know how you guys feel about this, but let me show you some. I don't know if I should have this. Hold on. Okay, that's a chemtrail, and these guys are crossing over. Where is he? Oh, there it is. So, there are two chemtrails. You know, I'm hoping that this administration is going to find out. They think it's, they think it might be something in the what's called DARP. It might be a military function. Some are saying that, there has been talk before about, the planet's getting too hot and we have to cool the planet, and they're going to do that by putting aluminum and other things in the sky, and that's going to reflect back to the sun, and it's supposed to keep it off the earth. So they're putting chemicals up there, maybe barium and aluminum, who knows what else. And these little lines spread out, so you can see the blue. This blue sky is not the blue it's supposed to be. It's like a filtered blue, and by the time they're done, we'll just have like a gray kind of sky. So they are saying that the planet is overheating, and they figured that they're going to block the sun and make save the planet, I suppose. But they literally are, they're poisoning our water, and they're poisoning our land, and then they're poisoning, people's bodies. You can't have all these things over a decade or so. And they really seem to have gone crazy under the last administration. Really, you see them often in the skies. So they're not just a normal, there is a condensation, like a normal plane leaves a little stream of condensation. That's not it. This is chemtrails. These are actually, if you research it, you can see how they put these big, they have these big, what do you call them? I don't know, like a machine of some sort that sends out all these trails as the plane's going by. So not good for humanity, not good for animals, not good for our health, not good for the planet. So hopefully they'll be able, with this administration, because they are finding a lot of crime, they are finding a lot of things that are money that's being wasted, and a lot of corruption. So that's good. I hope they continue to go. Now, Kennedy, he had mentioned he's going to put a team just dedicated to these chemtrails to find out exactly, what is going on with them and who actually is behind it. I know the Biden administration I had heard, I have to do more research, but they had in their global warming, or there's another term they use when they're going to alter the atmosphere. I forget I can't recall what that term is, but when they want to change, it's beyond cloud seeding. Usually they do cloud seeding if they're trying to get rain or whatever they're doing, but cloud seeding can create storms too. But this was something else. It's something of an atmospheric generating or manipulating the atmosphere. So he's going to put a special team on that so he can find out who is doing that, because we are getting poisoned, actually. Don't mean to make this political, but we really are. You can't have these chemicals in the air. They're not going to stay in the air. They supposedly aluminum can reflect the sun back. They don't even know what the consequences of all of this stuff is when they're fooling around with the atmosphere. They're really fooling around with creation, which is made perfectly fine. And I don't know what the heck's going on. So hopefully you can get down to who's doing that. And I know some states are banning it. There's already some states have banned it. The state that I'm living in, it's on their agenda. I think May is called the chemtrail month, and people need to call their senators and governors and ask them to look into it. And because we're getting toxified by it. A lot of people are saying, even out when you go like the Midwest, central part of the states, a lot of them are saying that a lot of their evergreen trees, because the evergreens give us beautiful oxygen all year long. It takes in carbon, makes oxygen, and they don't lay dormant in the winter. They're very active, and some of them are finding that they're really getting diseased and dying from the top down. So a lot of our evergreens are not doing well. Some of the other trees are not doing well, but you can't expect them to. The evergreens are out there just taking in these chemicals 24/7, 12 months out of the year. So they really need to find out what's going on. We don't need to have that. I have never heard of anybody asking approval to do that, to put these chemicals in the sky. And I think the only purpose is to reflect the sun back because they feel the earth is getting too hot. But I'll tell you something about the sun. I'm going to go on a little bit longer. This sun, for me, past few years, has been extremely, in my area, it might not be everywhere. It might just be like maybe around the east part of the country. Extremely burning, sometimes uncomfortable. Sometimes you might be walking through a parking lot, which is normally usually hot anyways, but you get this like burning on your back. Or if I'm in the yard, you can't even take a little quick glimpse of the sun if it's out there. You just can't. It's just too bright. It's almost like an LED light, just like it's magnified somehow. And I'm not sure if that's the aluminum up there that's doing that, but it's extremely bright and it is extremely I don't know what's going on with it. It's just too hot. I'll just say it's hotter than I remember over these past, several years with all the things that they're doing in the atmosphere. So something's with that sun that is extremely, it burns. It really does burn you. So it's not a comfortable sun. Like my youngest son, he used to always love 5 years ago, 6 years ago. He used to always love to come out and sunbathe a little bit before you go to work. You get a blanket, you lay down, get a little bit of sun, flip both sides, and it was pleasant and he enjoyed it. But he can't even do that now because the sun is so intense and so burning. So I'm off on a rant, but that's what I do sometimes. But yeah, let me know what you think about those things. Let me show you what's happening up there now, because there's that little line here. Let me see if I can. Should I zoom in or not? Let's see. The little line is now spreading out. I can't see. The sun's in my eye. So that line is spreading. It's going to keep on. They're going to keep on doing this now, pretty much all day, and that line's going to spread. And eventually, our sky will just be like a gray. You won't see any blue. This is not the beautiful blue that we're used to. This is still a filtered blue. It's not all that great, but yeah, that thin line spreads out, and it's going to just eventually rain down. Some people are complaining in certain states that they notice their crops not growing in the sand. Sometimes their kids are sick. Or the crop's not growing, not in the sand, but in their soil. The crops are not growing. And sometimes their kids are sick. Some kids are even losing their hair's falling out, so or being ill because they're playing in their little play box, and they have these chemicals that are falling on our earth. So you can find stories about that, people not doing well. So hopefully they're going to find out why, and they're going to be able to stop it. So good for these states that are banning it, and these states, and some countries don't even have that. They don't have that going on in their country. So I don't know why they're doing that here. But anyways, it's all going to work out in the end. It's all going to be corrected. Just can't fool around with what the creation is. So I'm sure that's going to be corrected in somehow. All right, people, so sorry about the rant. I just when I see those darn things in the sky, it really irritates me, yeah, to no end, because it's just so bad. It's just a bad thing to do. It really is just a bad thing to do, to put that up there and have all those chemicals spread out and then fall on people, fall on our crops, our food, our water. So I can get going for a long time on that, but I won't. So okay, guys, you all have a great day, and I'm going to have a good day too. Get my animals out, enjoy what I can around the yard, and enjoy the animals. Just a beautiful day today. I'll put the chicks out a little bit later. It's a little bit cool this morning. I got one of my little jackets on, but as the day goes on, maybe 1 o'clock, it might be, I guess the warmest point today is going to be around 2 or 3, closer to 70. But I'll see how it is around 1-ish, and I could probably put them out then. They're still kind of young. I don't want them to get too chilled, because they're just let's see now. They're going to be, what is the date today anyways? I guess they're 5 weeks old. Next week they'll be 6 weeks. So they're getting bigger. They're wonderful. They're beautiful. I love them a whole bunch. They're so cute. Okay, people, enough of me for now. Thanks for joining in. Thanks for letting me rant on. And God bless you all, and have a wonderful day. And enjoy life as much as you can, right? Okay. Thanks, guys. Have a great day. Bye now.